How's it going, everybody? This is Dave. Welcome back to Talking Wolves. We're finally back with another video. We've had a little bit of a break over the international period, but we're finally back and Wolves are in club football. My name is Dave, and as you can see, alongside me today, we've got Matt. Matt, how's it going, man?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, mate. I'm happy to be back. As much as I like watching England play, there's nothing compares to watching the Wolves. So
Nothing
you might
compares.
like watching Malta play, but
I mean, they got pumped about 7-0 the other day, so
yeah, but Miff's got the assist,
yeah.
didn't he? So
That'll do. That'll do.
Hero.
Well, as we said, Wolves are back in club football. They're going to be playing up against Bournemouth away from home this week. Me and Matt are going to be talking about that, talking a little bit about Wolves, the international break, Bournemouth as well, and talking a little bit about maybe the potential lineup. But before we kick off, make sure you go and check out our channel partners over at OneFootball. Fantastic football app to go and check out. They've been a huge help to this channel, and we'll discuss them a little bit more next week, which you'll see on the channel as well. Fantastic football app, though, for your live scores, live football news, team news, transfer rumours, everything on there. So you can select your favourite teams when you download it for the first time. Our link is in the top of the description down below. But Matt, international break, it seems like Wolves have come off pretty well. I know Adama unfortunately pulled out of the Spain squad. That was a huge opportunity for him just before the international break. He's pulled out of the Spain squad with a minor injury picked up against Villa. So unsure what's going on with him, but nothing more has been said.
I think he'll play against Bournemouth. I think it was probably more of a precaution. I mean, he said he felt his hamstring was tight in the second half, but he still played the 90. So he can't have been that bad. So I think it was just a precaution. He'll be gutted to have missed out, but I'm not really arsed. I'd rather him be playing for Wolves and Spain. How good he's been as well this season. So I expect really a clean bill of health.
Yeah, I agree. And had a few players, well, 4 in total, play for Portugal all at the same time as well, which is a huge achievement for Wolves as a club. I think it's the first time in about 10 years that's happened. I think Chelsea had about 4 players in 08 or something like that. But obviously Patricio, Moutinho, Neves and Jota were all on the pitch at the same time. Patricio, as we know, he's the number 1 for Portugal, gets in that team week in, week out. Neves started their first international game. Moutinho had a good amount of minutes. And Diogo Jota as well, making his debut, coming on for Cristiano Ronaldo, and then having his goal nabbed in the game after.
Everyone was fuming about that. We saw what you asked.
Yeah. He seemed pretty happy anyway, didn't he, Jota?
Yeah, he was buzzing.
Yeah.
And he's not exactly going to tell Cristiano to go where to go, is he?
Yeah.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah. So you had those 4 in international duty. Then Donker was there. I think his playtime was pretty limited. Sace as well had a good amount of minutes, and captain Morocco as well, I believe. And Patrick Cutrone managed to bag 2 goals for the Italy under-21s as well. That's great. Well, it seems like, Matt, everyone's come back to Compton with a bit of a boost in morale. There's definitely no negativity, really, is there?
Yeah, and Jimenez just doing what he does as well.
Jimenez as well, yeah.
Just an absolute baller, just scoring goals and assisting goals left, right and centre. I'm really happy about Cutrone. Mm-hmm. I think he has struggled a little bit since he's come to Wolves. As expected, he's 21. New lifestyle. He's not gone straight into the team and not playing to his strengths, but 2 goals away on international duty. Hopefully he'll do his confidence the world of good, because like we all say, there is a player in there, but we've not seen it yet. So hopefully this is a good way for him to boost his confidence, and get. He's already scored for Wolves, but get himself in a bit more of a rich goal scoring form.
Yeah, agreed. So 12 games played in the Premier League so far. Wolves in 8th place, Bournemouth in 9th place. The amount of points that both teams have got are identical. However, Bournemouth have won 4, drawn 4, lost 4. Wolves a little bit different, won 3, drawn 7 and lost just the 2 games at the moment this season. Matt, coming into this game, I mean, Bournemouth have got a pretty decent home record against Wolves. They've never lost to Wolves at home. Bournemouth are just a really strange team for me. They're not bad enough that they're going to go down, but at the same time, they've just not got quite enough quality to break into sort of that big 7 or big 8 that we saw more last year. The likes of Leicester, Wolves, you could say Everton at times, maybe West Ham or whatever. But I think definitely that sort of top 6, top 7, they've never really got enough quality to break through that, have they?
They just seem, since they've come up, so obviously it's meant to be this fairy tale about Bournemouth when they spent 300 million, so I don't buy into that. But they just kind of tread water, really.
Yeah.
Some weeks they'll turn bloody Man United over or Chelsea over, and then they'll go and lose to like someone in the bottom three. They're so inconsistent, and we've got some really quality players, but again, it's those inconsistencies. You look at someone like Ryan Fraser, who's I think he's a top player, and there's murmurs that he's getting to Liverpool in January with only a year left on his deal, end of the season. But would he have got to move earlier if he'd been a bit more consistent? I think that's probably the issue at Bournemouth is those inconsistencies. But there's no doubt that there are some terrific players there. I mean, apart from the back four, who I'm convinced are all regens. And they all came up like all the names and stuff. They just don't sound like footballers, but they have got some good players, and it's going to be very, very tough for Wolves. I'd set your hand off for a draw now.
Really, that's interesting. I mean, their inconsistencies have almost been, displayed over the last two Premier League games. A home win against Manchester United, then go to St James's Park and end up losing. So it's a bit of a strange one, really, on that front. The next few games are interesting as well. Obviously, got Wolves, and then they'll be playing up against Jose Mourinho's Tottenham the week after, away from home as well. But as you say, both teams pretty similar at the moment. In terms of Wolves, what is the one thing Wolves can improve? Is it scoring goals? I think against Villa we were fantastic. We just didn't know how to put the ball in the back of the net for most of the game.
It's ruthlessness in front of goal. We should have been out of sight in the first half, and we were anyway, but we could have been 5 or 6-0 up. We could have easily been 5 or 6 in that first half. But we've been, how long have we been saying for the past 3 years? When this clicks, someone's going to get an hiding.
It's true, though.
It's not really happened yet.
I think we say it every week, though, on the preview.
We do.
Right?
Someone's going to get an hiding this week if it clicks, and it does click, and we just can't finish. But yeah, we should have been out of sight. And I mean, looking back, I don't want to touch upon the Villa game too much because we would just be classed as obsessed. But Villa were awful. They're probably the worst side I've seen this year, and that's not me staring apart. They were terrible. And I think Villa fans themselves would admit that. But second half, they came to the game a bit more, and it was a little bit of a nervy finish at the end. But we completely dominated. It's just if we took our chances, that second half wouldn't have even had to have happened, like feeling a bit under pressure under the cosh. So just needs to be more clinical in front of goal.
I think Villa especially will be very, very disappointed with that performance. And I wasn't disappointed, but sort of as a football fan, I was surprised at how poor they were. But I think it shows how good Wolves have changed. The past few weeks prior to November, notoriously November is a pretty poor month for Wolves, and we've actually started off quite strongly. Sort of last month when we were struggling to string like 6 or 7 shots on goal, we were just struggling to score. And then this change of formation back to the two wingers and the striker, or the three up top. And against Arsenal, against Villa, the increase in the amount of attempts we're having. And
25 attempts on goal against Arsenal, 25 at the Emirates.
Yeah,
we managed to score once.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Jota there, he was a little bit scared in front of goal. I think at times, even against Villa, Adama had a couple of chances, even when he hit the woodwork. Jimenez snapped a couple of chances as well. And as you say, against Villa was probably our best time. If it clicked, imagine hiding the Villa by 3 or 4 goals. That would have been a huge boost in morale.
The Jimenez goals, it was a great finish.
Yeah, great work from Adama,
such an accomplished finish. Oh, well, that goes without saying, mate. It's such an accomplished finish from Jimenez, and it was probably the hardest chance of the game he had.
Yeah, I agree. It was a great finish. Vintage Jimenez one, sort of shooting across his body on almost on a turn. But yes, slowly but surely, we're looking good. Unbeaten in 7 Premier League games now, 3 wins and 4 draws. The last time we had a longer run without a defeat was back in 73-74. So, it's been a long time coming. That's in the top flight, by the way. Anyway, but Wolves have only won 1 of their last 7 league games. We have only lost 2, but the only win in that period is coming against Manchester City. Do you think, Matt, what the Wolves, other than obviously, putting the ball in the back of there, what the Wolves need to do to beat Bournemouth on Saturday?
I think, not taking into consideration the Villa game, previous games, he's moved the ball a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
We've seen now Wolves are starting the first half with a bit more tempo, a bit more panache, which they weren't before, which is great. But apart from being more clinical, I think they could move the ball a lot quicker, especially in the middle of the park. But Neves and Matinho the past few weeks have been nothing short of spectacular. So I just think a bit more urgency. And that's how they'll beat Bournemouth. But Bournemouth are gonna go for it first half. They will. They're at home. They'll fancy anyone at home, and rightly so. They've got a good home record. But if we can keep tight, which we have done, and that back three looks solid now with Saïss and Dendoncker. If we can keep tight and hit them on the counter attack, when I know Cody said this week, when you've got a Dharma in your team, you'll pose a threat to anyone on the counter attack. So it's going to be a really good game, and I just hope Wolves can carry on their performances from before the international break and carry them on afterwards. Because if they will, I think they'll go to Bournemouth and get the win.
Yeah, I think Bournemouth as well. A couple of doubts for them. Josh King, who is obviously on his day a fantastic striker. They do have Callum Wilson again on his day, as we say with the inconsistency. Harry Wilson as well, the free kick king. He could be playing. I know there's murmurs of Jefferson Lerber possibly not playing due to him being involved in international friendlies this week. So definitely some talent there. I think the defence one was funny. I mean, was it Charlie Daniel that came on against us last year, and I thought he'd won a competition to play for them because he was.
I thought that about Tyrone Mings though when he played.
He was dreadful against Wolves.
He is
last
dreadful.
Year, wasn't he? Yeah. So, yeah.
That's another topic though. But that's what I was saying about the back four. It's like they've not made that many changes since coming up. It's like Steve Cook, isn't it? Centre
yeah, he played
like,
last game. Yeah.
Like, you just think he played for the Dog and Duck. He's obviously not that bad.
Yeah.
Because he's sustained a place in a Premier League team and looks fairly comfortable. But from the outside, he's just an head on the stick.
Yeah.
Kind of defender. But that's what I'm saying. They are there to be got at defensively, but offensively they are very good.
Pace as well with Fraser, Wilson, and King. They are a quick team. But I think with Wolves 5 at the back, we could nullify that quite well. I think that's what Newcastle did as well. Newcastle played a 5 at the back last time they had a league game, and it obviously was their downfall. Right, we're going to quickly move on.
Steve Bruce had Howe's number after with that one. I know that Bournemouth put him under the cosh so much, and then he changed the shape, and then they had no answers. So they are there to be got at, but it's a different ball game at the Vitality, and it's a tough place to go.
Right then, predicted lineup. I mean, it almost picks itself as long as everyone's fit. I think unchanged from Villa probably.
Yeah, I'd say so. You can't drop that team how well they performed.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, if there's no injuries or fresh concerns over fitness, then it has to be the same team, and I can't see him going to the 3-5-2 to try and nullify Bournemouth. I think we've shown. I mean, at Arsenal, he went with the 3 up top. Yeah. Didn't he?
And it's working, isn't it?
If he's not going to change it for Arsenal, he's not going to be changing it for Bournemouth. So I think you can pretty much, by each player, be able to predict the lineup. So
I think the only concern for me is if Lerma plays. If not, it's going to be Philip Billing in the middle for Bournemouth, a player that Huddersfield, the team that went down. Exactly. So I think as long as we are going to be playing that 2 in the middle, we need something that is going to almost not take Billing out of the game, but keep Neves and Moutinho away from them, and just still able for Neves and Moutinho almost to get into those pockets of space to add that creativity to the team. But I think down the fullbacks, Adama could have a field day. Bournemouth's fullbacks aren't the quickest, so I think that'll be very interesting. But as you say, Patricio in goal, Saïss, Dendoncker, Cody across the back, Neves and Moutinho in the middle, and obviously Doc and Johnny as the fullbacks, wingbacks, and then Adama, Jota, and Jimenez up front. So
I mean, I would be a little bit concerned the legs in midfield, but it's such a small pitch. It's not that much of a concern. It might sound daft, but it's such a narrow and compact pitch. I think everyone will be on each other's toes anyway, so it's that doesn't really concern me. If Billing playing or someone of that ilk is always a bit of a worry for us, just because of the nature of Moutinho and Neves are. But on current form, I don't. You can't really. They're probably one of the best combinations of midfielders in the league at the minute on current form.
Yeah, and as long as we don't have a refereeing performance like the last time we were at the Vitality with big Roger East, he had an absolute nightmare last time. If you had to pinpoint a score, Matt, what are you going for? I know you've sort of hinted at possibly a draw, but go on.
I'm going to back the 0-0.
Oh, 0-0, goalless. Ending Wolves' run of consecutive scoring.
Yeah, I'm going to go 0-0.
I was going to tweet about that earlier, but I thought he's definitely going to jinx it because is it 10 games in a row now? I think only Liverpool have scored in more consecutive games. So, I mean, you're probably going to be right. I'm going to back a classic. I think I backed this score on every single preview. 2-1
2-1.
Wolves. Yeah, the classic 2-1. Yeah, I'm going to go with that against for Wolves against Bournemouth.
I think if we do score, I'm fancying a Dendoncker goal.
Oh, corner or driving forward? What are you saying?
Definitely not driving forwards.
Yeah.
I'd hope not from centre half. Christ.
Do a Richard Stearman run.
Yeah, Dendoncker or Jota. I think Jota deserves a
He's due a
deserves
goal,
a
and
goal.
he is due a goal as well. Yeah, and as long as he's looking threatening, I think a week with Cristiano will always do anyone a bit.
Well,
of
yeah,
good as well.
once he gets into like the Christmas period, I don't know. He must love Christmas because once he gets into that, he turns into like the best player that's ever lived.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can maybe start that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I hope so. Fingers crossed. Well, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments section down below, your score predictions. And if you change anything in the lead up to this game, if you're a Bournemouth fan as well, let us know your thoughts and how your season has gone so far in your opinion. Be sure to hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And we will be back for the match review up against Bournemouth. But until next time, be sure to smash the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel. I think I've already said that. But Matt, thanks a lot. And we'll see you all very, very soon.